I'm Todd with Controlled Air, and I'm going to show you some of the technology that we have at Elm City Biocenter at 55 Church in New Haven. Some of the first units that you see here are our Yanmar GHPs. These three units here, they're gas-fired heat pumps. It's a two-pipe system that we're using in a chiller application. Low power usage, light gas consumption for the amount of energy and usage that you can use for these. Also up here, which is going to be part of that additional chiller plant that we have that's serving a tenant, is our radiator, which will be used for free cooling during the winter time. Our little fan that we have here, this is an exhaust fan that is serving a clean room on the 5th floor for a new tenant that we have on the building. And our larger unit that we see behind us here is a 3-tier exhaust fan. This serves the main exhaust plant and the entire building. The ductwork runs from here up in the penthouse all the way down to the basement and serves each floor as it goes down. We decided to go with the Yanmar Hydrobox application, which allows us to use a GHP that is paired with this Hydrobox, which will allow you to either create hot water or cold water with the system. So either you could do heating or cooling with it. In this application, we were looking for cooling. So we are making this a strictly chiller-based operation for these Hydroboxes. There's a heat exchanger in here and also a smart pump within this. These systems will allow each other. This Hydrobox will talk and communicate with the GHP outside. In fact, all three of them will communicate with each other and run each other off a lead lag. The way that these systems are designed is that 2 of these units will be able to handle the load of the system, but in case we have a failure of one, there's a third. Because we are in a critical environment within these labs, we need to make sure that there's always a safety factor of 1. In case you do have a failure, you don't have to worry about a catastrophic failure within their space also. These are the main brains of the Hydrobox. This is its main controller, which allows it to communicate between the GHP, the other Hydroboxes, and what other options that you may add into the system overall. This Grundfos pump is what we consider a smart pump. Instead of having a secondary VFD, this is actually the VFD itself, and it'll run along its parameters pre-programmed into it by Yanmar's Hydrobox manufacturing. About a year and a half ago, we replaced 2 old 1972 train chillers that were existing in the building. One was decommissioned and another one was I guess you'd call it a Frankenstein chiller. They had taken turbo cores and added it to a train barrel. It worked, but we were past the capacity of that chiller. So to bring the building back up to an energy efficient and working chiller plant, we went with the smart chiller packages. So you have 2 chillers of the same tonnage here. Both of these chillers supply the house air system with their cooling. What's nice about the smart chillers is that they have turbo core compressors, which are a magnetic bearing compressor instead of your standard oiled metallic on metallic bearings. And you get more efficiency and longevity out of those compressors than you would out of a standard scroll compressor. And your noise volumes are much lower than your standard scroll compressor or screw compressor. Smart chillers allow us to be able to communicate from our control center to their control center and operate these at the most cost-effective way possible for the building and for the tenants. These 2 chillers, they support and serve the chilled water coils within the main air handler that supplies air to the whole building. They're efficient and they're quiet. And that was 2 factors that we're looking for, especially being in a penthouse situation and you have tenants directly below you. Controlled Air, we've always looked for new technology and solutions to our clients' everyday problems. We are no stranger to trying new technologies and using those to be able to overcome certain obstacles that our clients are facing with either their buildings or their design. In this application at 55 Church, the building had limitations with its air and its electrical. only so much power and only so much air can be supplied by the main air handler. To overcome that, we looked at the technologies of Yanmar directly with their GHP systems, the gas-fired heat pumps. What that allows us to do in this application in this building, instead of taking away from power from the building or air from the air handler, to be able to support different rooms on lab build-outs or in office areas, we're able to use that GHP technology to be able to use natural gas as the main power source instead of electric or air, to be able to support these rooms and add additional heating and cooling within the spaces.